Robodebt was a crude and cruel mechanism, neither fair nor legal, and it made many people feel like criminals. In essence, people were traumatised on the off chance they might owe money. It was a costly failure of public administration in both human and economic terms. That's the findings of the Royal Commission into the Robodebt scheme. 434,901 people are known victims of Robodebt. This includes as many as 2,125 victims in my community. The impacts of Robodebt went far beyond those who were told that they owed money. Children, parents, family members, community members and loved ones, all impacted by this scheme. All impacted in so many ways because of the program that those who sit opposite operated for years, despite the warnings and the criticisms and despite the fact that we now know it was illegal. In a way, we shouldn't be surprised that over these years, the Liberals ignored the warnings, because if there's a chance to be nasty, if there's a chance to punch down on people in our community who we should be lifting up, then the Liberals will take it. And of course, one of the chief proponents of the scheme in the coalition government was the member for Cook. The member for Cook has described himself as a bulldozer when it came to welfare, to the social security net that holds our country together. He was, self-described, a tough cop on the beat. As both a minister and as a Prime Minister, issue after issue, he decided he'd just crash through, regardless of the impact on people's lives. And the Commission found that the member for Cook allowed Cabinet to be misled. He failed to meet his ministerial responsibility to ensure that Cabinet was properly informed about what the proposal actually entailed and to ensure that it was lawful. And yet, despite these findings, just last week, the member for Cook made it clear he won't be changing his mind on the role he played in the Robodebt scheme. In fact, he dismissed the findings of the Royal Commission as disproportionate, wrong and unsubstantiated. The now Leader of the Opposition has called those words from the member of Cook, his former boss, a strong defence. The Australian people have a right to ask the now Leader of the Opposition, who do you support? Whose side are you on? Are you on the side of the victims of this illegal scheme, or are you on the side of the member for Cook, the bulldozer? And at the moment, it seems like the Leader of the Opposition still can't bring himself to side with the victims. And it is vitally important we do not forget the stories of the victims of Robodebt to ensure that we never see another government running a scheme like this. And this is a commitment our government has made, that we will work to ensure we never ever see a scheme like this again. That we understand, as the Royal Commissioner said, that anti-welfare rhetoric is easy populism that doesn't build our country up, but just drags us all down. That, of course, is not what those on the other side have done. The Nasty Party are happy to engage in a bit of welfare bashing. Rosemary Gay, an aged pensioner, gave evidence to the Royal Commission. Rosemary said of the pension, "It helped keep my head above water financially. The benefit enabled me to live my life with dignity and to pay my living expenses. It's been particularly important given my health issues and my inability to work full-time." Of course, Rosemary was shocked when she received a debt notice in late 2016, and then part of her aged pension was withheld to pay the debt. Rosemary said to the Commission, "It turned my life upside down. It was just sheer terror that I owed a figure that was such a huge amount that I've never earned that much money. How could I owe that much money? I could not possibly owe that amount of money to Centrelink." Rosemary knew. The pensioner affected by this scheme, whose life was turned upside down by this scheme, she knew that it wasn't correct. And yet, over years and years and successive ministers, those opposite who should have known, those opposite who should have asked the questions about what was going wrong, about why people were being slugged with these inaccurate, wrong, ultimately illegal debts, did not ask the questions. They failed these victims. Rosemary's is just one of the many stories shared during the course of the Royal Commission. And I do want to acknowledge every victim, their families, the advocates and the whistleblowers, who, despite the roadblocks they hit, kept going. They didn't let others try and shut them down, and they, I hope, are reassured by our government's assurance that this will never happen